Let's look at these functions and determine the end behavior. Up first, function f. We can first look for the degree. Notice that this one is in factored form, so we want to imagine distributing this all the way out. If we did that, we would have x cubed times x squared, which would be x to the fifth, times x, which is x to the sixth. So this is a 6th-degree polynomial. And since the degree is even, what we know is the same direction is happening. So either they're both pointing up or they're both pointing down. To then determine which is which, we look at the leading coefficient. We'll call a sub n. A sub n, again, if we distributed this all the way out, the leading coefficient would be 3, which is a positive number, which then tells us both ends point up. Think of it as up and up. In example B, we have function g. Again, this one is in factored form, so to find the degree, we would have 2, 3, and 4. This is the 4th-degree polynomial. And since it's an even degree, we can say that the same thing is happening. Either they're both pointing up or they're both pointing down. We won't know the difference until we look at a sub n, the leading coefficient. And in this case, the leading coefficient is a -1. And since a sub n is negative, that means both ends point down. So we'll have down and down. In h, this time it's written in the standard form. Notice it's not factored this time. So to find the degree, we just look for the highest power on x, which in this case is 5. The degree is 5. An odd degree tells us that opposite things are happening with the end behavior. One end points up and one end points down. We don't know which is which until we look at the leading coefficient, a sub n. A sub n in this case is -4. It's the coefficient that's beside the highest power of x. And since a sub n is negative, we think of that as decreasing overall. So one end's going to point up on the left, and on the right, it's pointing down. Overall, it's decreasing. So the left points up, and then the right side points down. Again, the way I see it is overall, it's decreasing.